Hey, this is Matt once again. What about videos of the paid request? This time for Ryan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. I also have a Cash App, because people have asked about that. All links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I can. It could be any type of review, re-review, topic, reaction, commentary, video game playthrough, random streams, thoughts, commentaries, steal from my friend Fabio there. It could be pretty much any type of video. Feel free, I'll get to it as soon as I can. And this, A Tale of Two Sisters. The thing about this movie is, I saw the remake before this, so I already knew the twist. And that remake was called The Uninvited. It was an American remake. And while it's not exactly the same as this, but it's similar enough that I can't say I was ever surprised as the reveal, because I knew The Uninvited I saw, I think, when I worked at the video store. And you're like, get any movie for free because you worked there. And so I would just watch any movie, well, a chunk of movies. Just, hey, it's the weekend and I'm off, and I'll just watch a bunch of random films and have them back by time I go back to work on Monday, so why not? And so I knew that was a remake of this film, but I'd never seen the original. I will say the original was better because I like the acting a bit more. It's definitely a little bit more, I would probably say, subtle compared to the remake. At the same time, I wouldn't say I love the film. I didn't really see much of scares or creepiness or to be disturbed by. But I thought the acting was at least decent, I'll give it that. I mean, the first scene is a doctor talking to a girl in an institution, asking this girl, Sumi, who do you think you are? I mean, that's a very specific question. Who do you think you are? So even if I had not seen the remake, I would go, okay, so this person, their mind is not the most stable thing. If they're saying, who do you think you are, then that means there's going to be some kind of, well, compare films like Identity, there's other films of that nature that kind of, you think they're seeing one thing, but they're really seeing another thing. That type of stuff. So Sumi has her younger sister, has a dad, and has a stepmother. And there's a bit that you see where apparently they all come to the house, and the stepmom is very bitchy, more so to the younger sister. And Sumi sees that her younger sister has bruises, more likely from her stepmom, and she gets mad at her sister for saying nothing. And it's definitely a slow build of a movie. It's a slow burn of a film. And it's more about the characters interacting with each other and the way the dad kind of reacts a bit awkward with the older sister. About how during dinner the stepmom is talking and people, the dad and like the uncle and another lady, they look at her very funny. And they look at her like kind of these, what's going on with here type of looks. Pills have to be taken by the stepmom. Our lead character, she starts seeing a ghost of her mom in black at one point with her head kind of crooked to the side. Or one of the characters sees a girl under the sink. Like I said, it's a very slow burn. I kind of figured what was going on, so I'm just kind of waiting for the movie to catch up. I know that's not the movie's fault, but again, I think even if you had not seen the remake, they give enough clues that it's not too hard to figure out. Again, spoilers, for those who don't want it spoiled. The only person there is the older sister and the dad. The stepmom has never been there. She arrives in the third act, and she seems a much more kinder than the stepmom we were seeing before. The stepmom and the younger sister were made up in our lead girl's mind. In fact, she has a dissociative disorder. Well, she'll pretend to be her sometimes, herself, but then sometimes she'll pretend to be her stepmom. That's why during that dinner scene, why the father and the other people are looking at her so strange, because we, the audience, think it's the stepmom saying this, but it's really the daughter saying this, and then people are, the family looking at her going, what the hell? And that's why when you watch the film, and granted, because I knew somewhat what would happen, I was paying a bit more closer attention to those details. This is why the dad never tossed to the younger sister. This is why the dad never tossed. Well, if he tossed with a stepmom, there's a certain weirdness to it. There's certain things that happen, and you kind of question it, and then, oh, well, that explains why that's happening. The stepmom and the older sister have a fight, but it's really the girl just fighting herself. And there's a point where her and the younger sister are together, and the dad says, what are you talking about? She's not here, she's dead. And the lead had thought the stepmom had this bloody sack and was whacking it, but really she had the sack and there's nothing in it but a doll. She was her and her stepmom going back and forth with that, and she imagined her sister there. And maybe the fact that this stepmom's so bitchy is that's what this girl imagines her stepmom to be. And that's why the pills are being put about everywhere. If they're put to the stepmom, it's really given to the daughter. Or if they're both in the same frame, the guy will put it right in the middle. So it could be for either one. And it's going to lead to the girl going back into the asylum. As is, up until that point, I kind of sitting there going, okay, it's not a badly told film. It's not a badly acted film. There's films I've seen that have done this type of stuff where you think a character's doing one thing but it's really another. Or, I mean, even like Fight Club. Fight Club, you think one's talking. Fight Club, the guy is one or the other. He's kind of both characters. Sometimes he's this guy, sometimes he's Tyler Durden. So I've seen films do that kind of motif, and either they were a lot more exciting movies or just a lot more my cup of tea. This, it's just kind of not mind the acting, but there's really not much scares or suspense. I guess maybe you'd possibly get into the drama of the characters, but to me, I'm kind of like, it's alright. I'd just take it or leave it. Like, it didn't make me feel anything one way or the other. I thought it was okay, like average. I would go, it's an average film. At least to me. Just me. The ending took it a few steps down from that. Because of two things that they did that I don't agree with that they did. The first thing is, apparently there is a ghost. And I guess it's the ghost of... Can't remember if it was the mom or if it was the younger sister. But one of them comes after the stepmom, she screams, cuts away, so we get the idea that the stepmom dies. Now maybe you could argue that possibly this is the lead girl still imagining this, but what they should have done, if that's the case, is we see her in the asylum, then we go back to that, then we see her in the asylum kind of smiling. And either A, she knows somehow that she's dead, or B, she imagined it. Like, if it was done that way, then I could maybe buy that line of thinking a bit more. This seemed more like, oh, there just happens to be a ghost. Just because it's an Asian horror film. Like, The Ring and The Grudge have ghosts, so these are ghosts too. I'm like, nah, it didn't really. It didn't really. It's like trying to have your cake and eat it too, which I don't really think was needed. It didn't really bring anything in terms of the overall themes of identity and the loss thereof, and putting a blame on someone that maybe... Well, I can't say he doesn't deserve it, because that's the other thing. We see a flashback to what happened to the family. The stepmom was a nurse taking care of the actual mom. The stepmom and the dad were sleeping with each other. The mom found out. She got depressed. She hung herself in a closet. The younger sister found this. Of course, is in shock, trying to wake her mom up. Pulls too hard. The cabinet falls on her. She's suffocating. The stepmom and other people heard the noise, goes up, and the stepmom just kind of fumbling around, doesn't try to lift it, doesn't try to help, doesn't call or yell for help. She just walks out, and because the older sister, who doesn't know what's going on, yells at her for a bit, the stepmom goes, "You'll regret this. You will regret this." And I'm sitting there going, so the stepmom just murdered this girl. Why? Why did the stepmom murder this girl? I guess to further tell the audience, no, this is what kind of person she is, and that's why our lead girl, imagined the stepmom being so bitchy, because she really was a monster. And also, other people heard this noise. Aren't they going to question the stepmom, going, you went upstairs, you didn't see anything, you didn't hear anything, you didn't notice a whole gigantic damn cabinet fall? And you didn't hear this girl screaming? Don't you think the dad would have questioned that? Or the other people in the house questioned that? At all? At all. And why is the stepmom like this evil, with no explanation, with no... just is. She just is, I guess. So you can't even go to the notion of, well, actually, the stepmom was actually a decent person, so that makes the fact that, you know, in one person's eyes they view him as a monster, but in real life they're decent. That would have been a bit more intriguing of a direction, but no, apparently that's not the case. And I don't even know how that made sense, where the stepmom goes, "This is your fault. You're going to regret this." Regret what? Telling a monster like you to go fuck yourself? Because she's right. You are a monster because you let a girl die. For what? To prove what? Even the point you were trying to prove? I don't know. So... that was just so stupid of an ending to me. The reveal that there was an actual ghost, and then, oh, the stepmom really is an evil bitch, and it's just like... it just brought the intrigue down a lot in terms of a story. At least to me. And... I'm trying to remember what happened in the remake. I think that the remake, it was Elizabeth Banks that's a stepmom, and you just find out that she's a nice person, and then the girls killed her because she thought she was evil, and of course she's crazy, she was wrong, and the dad's like, can't understand what happened. I could be wrong, that might not be how it ends, and sorry if I spoiled it, if that was the case, but yeah, I'm trying to sit there going, what? Really? This is what you're doing with? What? I just don't think it needed to go in that direction. That's just me. If you disagree, you disagree, that's cool. I don't agree with that direction of the story. I didn't find that I thought that made it less interesting, not more interesting. That's just me, though. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. I don't really have much to say. The score, the direction, nothing really comes to mind for me to point out, at least for me. I didn't think it was that scary or suspenseful of a movie. Just kind of more of a drama about a person's, psychological, can't say breakdown because she's broken by the time it starts, but I guess if that's somewhat interests you, feel free to check it out. There's a lot of people who do seem to like the film. But with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.